Alright guys, so welcome back, and this is the last topic and the last video that covers the major world civilization, and this is me talking about the last civilization, which is the Aztecs civilization. Hundreds of years ago, a towering temple stood at the center of what is now known as a New Mexico City, and this great temple was a symbol of the power of the Aztecs empire. That's an empire that cut across much of Mexico. Then the question brings us to asking, who were the Aztecs? The Aztecs empire was the last in a series of great Native Americans in Mexico. Before they became powerful, the Aztecs people wandered from place to place, living by hunting animals and gathering wild plants. They roamed the part of northern Mexico called Aztlan. The name Aztecs came from Aztlan, and in the 1200s, the Aztecs moved to central Mexico, but they soon found that the best land had already been possessed by other people. The only place left were two small islands in a shallow, salty lake called Lake Texcoco. So they settled there and began to farm. Then we have the dazzling capital. In 1885, the Aztecs built their capital and then part of this island in order to create more land for farming. The created artificial island was sand, filling the lake with soil. Then eventually, Tenochtitlan became an impressive city of plazas, canals, palaces, pyramids, and houses. There were even a zoo, and perhaps about 200,000 people lived in Tenochtitlan, which may have been the biggest city in the world at that time. By the 1500s, the Aztecs were very powerful. Earlier, however, in the 1200s and 1300s, the Aztecs had little power and got little respect. They were forced to give a portion of their food and other valuable goods to their more powerful neighbors. Then the Aztecs soon grew stronger. In the early 1400s, they formed an alliance with the people of two other cities in the area. The cooperation between these two cities culminated in the defeat of all the enemies in central Mexico. By the late 1400s, the alliance ruled most of lower Mexico, and Tenochtitlan became the most important city in the growing empire, and they were thus all in the center of Mexico. And then let's talk about how did the Aztecs live. Aztec society had several classes of people at the top of the ladder, and was an upper class of the priests, warriors, and administrators. And then below them, only upper classes people could own land and but they had to pay the empire for that privilege. Religion played a very important part in the Aztecs' life because they believed in many gods, and most important was Huitzilopochtli. That's sorry for that. That is the god of war and sun. The Huitzilopochtli and other gods needed human blood to stay strong, so they sacrificed thousands of people to the gods at the great temple. Most victims were prisoners of war. Same thing with the Maya civilization. And then the collapse of the Aztecs empire came in 1519. Then that was when the Aztecs and their ruler Mentezuma II controlled vast areas. They probably thought their empire would last forever, but they were very, very wrong. And because that year, Spanish conquistadors named Herman Cortes landed on the east coast of Mexico with about 600 men. Cortes was looking for gold and glory. Then he was told about the Aztecs and the fabulous capital, rumored to be a treasure house. That was all Cortes needed to hear. He set off to conquer the Aztecs, and which he did that, and proceeded to recruit hundreds of people who were enemies of the Aztecs to help him. And in August 1521, the Cortes of the Spanish conquistadors defeated the Aztecs, and the conquistadors took the Aztec gold and other treasures and leveled Tenochtitlan. Thereafter, they built a new city called Mexico City on its ruins. And this brings us to the end of the major world civilization, ending with the Aztec civilization. Any questions so far on the major world civilization, from the Egyptian to the Islamic to the Greek to the Mayan, to the Aztec, to the Chinese, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Until then, I'll see you on another interesting topic of history dating back to time